Islanders, Pittsburgh, 7-8 on the rotation. This is the last of the afternoon games, by the way. I should point out St. Louis, Dallas, 2:05 p.m. Eastern, 11:05 a.m. Pacific start time. Chicago, LA, 4:05 p.m. Eastern, 1:05 p.m. Pacific start time. And this one, Islanders, Pittsburgh, 5:05 p.m. Eastern, 2:05 p.m. Pacific start time. Actually, we also have another afternoon game, which we'll get to in a second. So that's going to be the last one. Pittsburgh minus 235 to minus 240. Home favorites here against the New York Islanders. A total 6.5 in this game. Give me Pittsburgh puck line here. I don't usually go for the puck line very often here, but that was very, very, very bad from the Pittsburgh Penguins the other night against the Boston Bruins. That was a pond hockey game that developed. Penguins and Bruins the other night. Incredible. It was just you blink and the puck was in the net, and especially in the first period of that game. My goodness, that Penguin Bruin game was absolutely wild. Defensively was atrocious on both sides, but especially from the Pittsburgh Penguins' point of view, they were just an absolute they were lost in their own zone. I mean, the goaltending, obviously, from the Casey to Smith and then Tristan Jarry combo obviously needed to be better than it was, but that was not very good in front of either goalie for the Pittsburgh Penguins in that loss against Boston. A Boston team that, as we mentioned, no Bergeron, no problem Thursday night against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The kind of loss now, that's 3 losses in a row. You would think now this is circle the wagons. It's time to put our foot down after that kind of loss and beat down somebody. And Islanders are a team that you can beat down right now because I don't know how you lose 2 in a row to the Montreal Canadiens, the New York Islanders. Congratulations, you guys. You managed to do that. Well done. Mission accomplished. Fantastic. So impressed with you right now. New York Islanders, what can you say? Not good. Some nights, all of a sudden, we're getting a combination of issues. There's nights like they had against the first game against Montreal where they don't score and they lose. And then now nights like last night where they do score enough and defensively and goaltending, they go back to looking like the way the New York Islanders have looked in their own zone for much of the season, and that's porous and one of the worst defensive teams in the NHL and one of the worst penalty kills in the NHL. And we saw it come to fruition again last night with the against the Montreal Canadiens. Now you got them on a second night of back-to-back games against a rested and pissed off Pittsburgh Penguins team. Yeah, puck line for me at plus 120 minus a goal and a half. No problem whatsoever going ahead, laying the puck and a half here with the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they beat down the Islanders and finally snapped this 3-game skid off that really thorough embarrassment they suffered against the Boston Bruins. Boston, it's not an embarrassment to lose to Boston. They're a good team. It's the fashion they lost to Boston that's a little bit embarrassing for Pittsburgh. So I think we see them make amends for that here in a big way tonight. I wouldn't argue with over the total either, but I like the puck line minus 1.5 a lot better. I could see 6-1, 6-2, a thorough beatdown. They should light the lamp against this Islanders team, plain and simple. I mean, a bunch. So we'll see if they can do that. It's just going to be a question of can they clean up the defensive zone tonight. I think you're going to see them try to make a big-time effort to try to do that here tonight against the New York Islanders. Alex B. Smith, he's got Penguins Isles on his card as well. Alex, do you think Pittsburgh has a bounce back in them?
I do, but one interesting thing I want to note, and I went to bring it up on the last episode. Somebody was talking about. I had a chat with someone right before the deadline, and they're talking about asking if the Penguins were going to try and make a move for another backup goalie. They mentioned specifically Robin Lehner of the Buffalo Sabres, and I said I wasn't sure. I felt like
You
they
don't
were
want
just going
that
to go
guy.
and ride. Well, but here's the thing. I was saying, okay, well, they're going to ride Murray, and then at this point go with a blend of either the Smith or Jari, and then right after that, Murray gets hit in the head with this concussion. And now you got Smith and Jari, and you see how poorly those two played. Now they got to kind of be wondering, okay, if Murray's not going to be back, he's out indefinitely. How far can the Penguins go riding the Smith and Jari? Like I said, so now they're going to have to really tighten things up defensively to make sure these guys don't see a boatload of shots early and get beat out the way they did against Boston. So I'm looking at the team total for Pittsburgh, and I'll also be looking at the first period over. But like I said, I'm not, laying a goal and a half for just plus 120, or certainly not going to be laying anywhere, over 2 bills for the money line. I'm going to be looking at probably playing, sides and team totals, avoiding sides rather and looking for some total action in this game. I do think Pittsburgh bounces back tonight.
Okay.
There we go. I don't
Oh,
usually do that. Usually I'm always telling people, "You're muted, you're muted." I have to tell myself, "Ian, you're muted." There we go. We're unmuted now. Pittsburgh Penguins, yeah, a good bounce back spot for them. The ideal foe to do it. Montreal, again, scores a 5 spot on them. That's not good for going into Pittsburgh against this team tonight. You're right. A 6.5. Again, you're seeing these. Obviously, you got Pittsburgh. You can light the lamp, who's had some issues a little bit defensively lately. The Florida game, the Boston game. The Islanders have had defensive issues all season, so 6.5. But this is actually one of those games. That's 6.5, even though usually that is a high total in an NHL game. It actually looks small, believe it or not, in this game. That's 6.5. This to me has 6-2, 7-4, maybe something like 7-3, 7-2, something like. I really think Pittsburgh's going to pound the living crap out of the Islanders here today, because Islanders are just that team that Pittsburgh, they're not going to be able to shut down Pittsburgh, and you got Pittsburgh in a bad state of mind. So this could get ugly here. Pittsburgh team total in the chat seems to be a popular thought. Yeah, not cheap by any stretch, but yeah, Pittsburgh team total over. That's another play I'll probably be looking at making for this game.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.